I am with Kelly Lawrence, our Vice President of Healthcare, Miranda Stichenoff, the Assistant Vice President of Healthcare, and Crystal Yarger, our Director of Nursing at Berkeley Square. So thank you all, and I am very excited to tell you, each one of them, they are not just the leaders in what we do, but they're my friends, and I couldn't be more excited to kind of share your story. And you know, people watching this don't know, Assistant Vice President of Healthcare during the largest only pandemic in the last 100 years. What's a typical day like for you?
Changes every day. Yes, it does. It changes every day, which is what I like. And we just roll with it. We just make it happen.
So how long have you worked here, Miranda?
5 years. I've been here for 5 years, but I've been administrator for, oh gosh, almost 20 years.
Wow. And you are from?
I was born in West Virginia, and I grew up though in Toledo, Ohio. So.
West Virginia? I never knew that.
Yep.
And where are you from, Miss Kelly Lawrence?
I grew up outside of Oxford.
Oxford? Mm-hmm. So you have the weight of the world during a pandemic, the largest departments among 3 communities for sure, Jamestown, Westover, and Berkeley, and you're a mom and a grandma.
Yeah.
What comes to your mind when you go to bed at night? What do you worry about?
First and foremost, I always worry about my staff. I want to make sure that, you know, they have the weight of the world on their shoulders. So I can't ever take the credit for all of our success, everything that we're doing. It's truly the staff that I pray for when I go to bed at night, because they really are holding the bag of responsibilities for our patients and our residents, and you know, they have a huge responsibility. So I would say first and foremost is my staff.
COVID has changed your normal role that you've done for years. How has it changed for you professionally and personally?
There's challenges, and I think just with any challenge, you kind of roll with it, like Miranda said. Luckily, we have a good team that's close enough that we can use each other for resources. We bounce things off of each other, and it's new every day. So the blessing in it, we're all learning together. So it's not that anybody's tread this water before and said, oh, that worked or that didn't work for us. You know, we're using our resources, our peers, everyone, to figure out what is going to work and what's best for our residents. So every day is a different day. Every day is a challenge. Regulations, guidance, all of that changes daily.
So what's one word you would use to describe Kelly?
Leader.
And what's one word for Miranda?
Fun.
Fun. So what's one word you would use to describe the Director of Nursing here?
You're adaptable.
That's a great one.
She adapts.
That's a great one. Mm-hmm. How would you describe your partner in crime?
My partner in crime is very passionate. She is very passionate, and by that I mean everything that she does, she will go full force and put her mind to it and have a lot of passion to make sure it goes well.
I think for me, I've worked with her a long time, and I haven't come across in any career I've had anybody that cares and is as fair as she is. Kelly is an amazing person, not just because we work closely together, but she cares. And when I tell you that she's coming in at 3 a.m, if there's a security problem, she's coming in. Or if there's a camera broken, Miranda is saying, what do you need? Tell me what you need. Like I feel like both of you are super accessible, which is a blessing and a curse for your families, I'm sure. I'm sure. So what are your families saying right now during COVID? What are you hearing? What's out there? Our Westover families, our Berkeley families, that's what people watching want to know. What are families? I will tell you something that I have heard, that the staff and our residents with our staff and our families to our staff have never felt closer. Do you think that's true?
Definitely. I feel like at times our families and our residents are taking care of us, truly. They are so resilient and they're so comforting, and you know, I'll have random voicemails on my phone just saying, stay strong, you're doing great, you all are doing so well, and it's just really, really heartwarming and nice to know that they're behind us, and we're supposed to be taking care of them, but really they're taking care of us as well.
Kelly, talk about innovation and in a growing community first company. That's who we are part of. That is our parent company. That's our family, if you will. Innovation means what? What are you seeing during COVID or not during COVID?
Well, I would think during COVID, we talked about, we kind of sometimes joke that right now, because of visitations and things, our residents have two T's. They have our tents for their visits and they have technology. So especially through this COVID, our activities teams and our resident service teams have done a phenomenal job with coming up with different things, thinking outside the box for our residents, things that I would have never thought of. And I'm like so impressed with what they're doing and how they're doing it and using technology, things that we didn't use prior to COVID. So I think that, again, another blessing that through all this, we're learning to connect with our residents and families in different ways.
What makes Berkeley Square special in your mind, Miranda?
Berkeley Square is extremely special because the people who live here are very successful people who have helped build the community. They've helped build the Hamilton community, and so they are also enhancing and building the Berkeley Square community.
People ask me all the time, what's the difference between Westover or Berkeley? And just as somebody that is a mom, I really say I love them like two different kids. They are not identical, but I love them just the same.
Definitely.
One is very home-y, home-like, home everything. Ask one person about Westover and they're going to say, feels like home. Berkeley, we've talked to 1 million people today and pretty much got 9 out of 10 have said the same answer. I won't share it yet. What's one word to describe Berkeley? What did you say today?
Community.
What would you say?
Community, village.
Absolutely.
Community, family. Everybody has said that and did not know we were going to ask that question. So it's been really, really cute. And the same thing happened at Westover. People said home and people said family at Berkeley Square. How does philanthropy play a part as we're growing? And this is kind of that wild card question. It's not about COVID. It's not about Berkeley's been here 20 years. But I think there's a great honor to people that have felt so strongly and passionately to give their money to any of our communities. And so I felt like we should say, what part has it played in the Berkeley story, philanthropy?
I think that first of all, I would say thank you to all those that have felt that confident in what we're doing each and every day and what we have built across Community First, that they would feel so confident that they'd want to donate money to such a great facility, great company. So to me, it's definitely a testimonial of what our staff and our management, all of us on an everyday basis have done to show the community and to show our residents. We do great things, we have great quality of care, and you have moved into a wonderful community, and that we have that confidence from them that they would leave and donate.
I think it tells a great story, not just you choose to live here, but when your families choose to donate a garden in honor of their husband or a conference room or a bench, big or small.
Absolutely.
It's a tribute to all the hard work and late nights and to the staff of Berkeley Square and Westover.
And honestly, it's the staff who receive the donations because it's their hard work that people feel compelled and they want to help. So it's our staff, truly.
Do you have something you want to talk about for people watching about growth, about yesterday, what we have been, like Westover is our original community, Berkeley is ever growing, and we know that from the construction and the bulldozers, but as a company, as a year of a new CEO in the last few years, what would you say about growth and vision and leadership for Community First? Why should people trust us from a professional leadership side?
Sure. I think that just to say that we've been here for 100 years, right there alone shows that through good times, bad times, COVID, whatever it may be, we have stayed strong and we've survived. We've survived those rough times. Thinking back to the recession and how many open homes there were and the housing market, to now we're dealing with COVID and having the most fragile population to have to care for through this pandemic. To me, that shows that we can get through it. We have a strong team, we have strong leaders. We had a CEO that had been here for 40 years, and we have a new CEO who is motivated, who believes in our mission and our vision, and is really going to take us places that we haven't been before. So I think great new ideas, great new perspectives have come, and I'm excited. I'm excited about the new leadership. I'm excited about what's to come for Berkeley, what may come for just the company as a whole.
Well, Community First, is it true, is the second largest employer in Butler County? And that's probably one of the big surprises. I don't know that everybody, we don't
In
toot our own
Hamilton,
horn.
not Butler County.
In Hamilton.
Yes.
So I think that's one of the biggest secrets as well, that we, not only are we mission driven and truly caring, I think that we also are a huge presence for Hamilton, Ohio. Huge presence in Hamilton, Ohio. Okay, so 2 more questions. Let's talk about 5-star care. No, if you don't know, the average bear, as I talk about the average bear, what is it? How, I used to say, if you live right every day, it doesn't matter when they come to inspect you to get these stars. But what is 5-star?
5-star. 5-star is encompassing
5-star rating.
Yes, 5-star rating is the best rating that you can receive, but it encompasses, several levels. Just all different facets of care. Be it the physical care, the spiritual care, the emotional, the clinical care, of course, and it's just about making sure that every resident, every patient receives the best possible outcome for themselves.
So, resident-centered care is happening throughout the communities that you are leaders of. What does that look like? People don't know what that means. Resident-centered care means what? Give me an example. Choice.
Yeah.
So does it mean if I have to eat at a certain time, or I have to get up at a certain time?
No. And resident-centered care, person-centered care,
Yeah.
it's basically what we should be doing all of the time. And it has a fancy name or culture or what have you, but it's truly just doing what's right for every single person, individually.
So the last question I want to ask each of you, is there an aha moment in your career here that stands out as something that you had a huge impact, or it had a huge impact on you? Like, I heard a story about the wonderful parades that were held when COVID first started, and literally the tears as you watched how touched you were personally to how powerful that family connection can be.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying that's the one, but I think people, not only do you have the pressure and the responsibility for a lot of staff, but there is an amazing reason you do what you do, and it's not for the money. So if there were one incident in your career here, share with me why you stay, what was powerful, what impacted you.
I can start. I kind of take it a little bit higher level. I feel very honored that I have hired my entire director team at this point, other than our quality assurance individual, Wendy, and she's great also. But our 3 DONs are very young. Our director of nursing are very young, but they are so good. And they amaze me every single day of their leadership and how they just have taken things and they run with it, and just their passion for it. I mean, so to me, to be able to say, this is my team, I picked these girls and they're growing, that's what keeps me going. And, I get the honor too. I work with, I also hired Miranda. So when we say that she's fun, one of the words I would have used for Miranda is she's always very optimistic, because like you said, I'm not a robot. I have my days that I can be very down or whatever, and it doesn't matter what I say to her, she's always got to spin it to a positive, which helps me, because we all need that. We all need that. So, not only do I have that team, but I have the resident service team, and I get to supervise you. And to see everybody's compassion to continue to do what they do, that's what keeps me going. That's my aha, that I get to come to work every day with a group of ladies who are determined to do the best that they can every single day for these patients. I have the best job in the world. I have to tell you, my word for her would be she's determined.
This one?
Kind of
This
like
one?
you said, no, she's optimistic, but Crystal is very determined, determined with any situation that's brought to her. And, she, out of the 3 director of nursing that we currently have, she's the most tenured, and you've been in your position less than 3 years. But, they've all 3 of our DONs have been with our company for many years. So I probably should have started with that. They have grown up with our company, and to me, that's an honor too. I have 3 director of nursing who has believed in this company for a long time and continued to push to get to the top. And I can't say enough about my teams.
What's your aha? Why do you stay here? What is there a moment in time, a story, a resident, a staff story, a resident story that really impacted you, or if you felt like, gosh, that's why I do what I do?
It's not one big moment for me. It's just a lot of little moments, and we go through a lot of very heavy things, as a team, just on a daily basis. And I just believe that we take our jobs very seriously, but we also have fun. We need to have fun because that's good for everybody. And so I guess I feel like I'm doing my job every day if our staff are choosing to do better from yesterday, that will make a resident or a patient's life better, to just continue to do that and just move forward. And there's nothing that we haven't been through. I mean, obviously a pandemic we haven't been through, but the stress and the responsibility is nothing new. So we just flex, and we strategize, and we move forward to make sure that everybody is safe and ready to go.
What's your aha moment in the last few years?
I'm kind of the same. I don't have, one specific thing, especially because I've done so many different things in the company, floor nurse, night shift, day shift, manager, DON. There's been a lot, but I'd say in this position, the thing that drives me is similar to theirs is the staff, coming in and seeing them grow, seeing them, go the extra mile, do the extra things, for the residents. It's
Especially
just
when no one's looking.
Yes.
Isn't that great? Those little details that mean a lot, whether it's somebody's favorite hamburger, somebody's favorite haircut, and nobody's looking, and
Right.
you know about it. And I think it just speaks volumes.
It does.
Because you can train, but you can't train that.
No,
you can't,
No.
you
you
can't train that.
You can't teach kindness.
Yeah, well, I'm so excited for you guys. The last thing I know that Crystal wanted to share. Did you know she sings opera? Have you heard it?
I know, but
Have you heard it?
No.
She let me hear. Do it.
I did not
Do
let
it
you
for
hear.
them. Do
I'm
it.
not.
You let her hear.
I did not.
Come on.
No, she doesn't do it in public.
She won't do it for us.
Nope.
I can't.